Okay, so let us begin. Okay, so students, we are studying electromagnetic waves and communication system. And as I have already mentioned that this chapter is kind of divided into two parts, where the first part includes what electromagnetic waves are and the second part is about communication system. Okay, fine. So here we started with introduction. Basically at the very beginning we started with what a wave is, and wave is nothing but disturbance in any medium. Then what are longitudinal waves, transverse waves, okay, electric field, magnetic field, and all these things. And EM waves, that is electromagnetic waves, are basically present everywhere around us. All the day-to-day applications that we use, okay, that is TV signals and cell phones and everything, all of them use EM waves. Okay, fine. So now students, to understand electromagnetic waves, there is a very important concept that we have to study, and the concept is about the concept is Maxwell's equations. Now there are four equations altogether, but all the four equations that are there, they were not, just one second students, all the four equations that were there, they were not discovered by Maxwell. Okay, the equations were already there. So especially the first three equations, that is Gauss's law in electric field, Gauss's law in magnetic field, and Faraday's law, he directly took the equations. Okay, fine. Only the last one that is there, that is Ampere's law. Okay, you always study Ampere's law in one of the chapters in your 11th standard only. So what he did was, what Maxwell did was, he modified Ampere's law a little bit. Okay, so that is his only contribution in this entire Maxwell's equation topic. So students, we started with that topic. We have done the first law. As I've already said, you all can see this green box on the next page. Everyone is requested to sit with their textbooks, okay? And whatever I ask you all to mark or note it down, please do so. So on this next page, that is page 230, this green box that is there, which comprises all the equations of the laws that we are studying. So these equations are expected from you all in the answer as well. Okay, fine. So last time students, the last law that we did was a Faraday's law with Lenz's law. Okay. See students, here, this equation that you all can see, if you all just kind of ignore the negative sign, then whatever equation you all can see, that is line integral of the electric field. What is phi m students? Phi m is nothing but the magnetic flux. I hope you all understand I hope you all remember what magnetic flux is. I've already explained. Magnetic flux is nothing but number of magnetic lines of force. Okay, you all remember, right? There was a magnet, north pole, south pole. So there are magnetic lines of force going from north to south. Okay, and more the number of magnetic lines, more strong is the magnetic field. Okay, fine. So here, what is Faraday's law actually? Faraday's law is change of magnetic flux with respect to time. Okay, d upon dt, the derivative, it is change with respect to time, right? And it is related to the line integral of the electric field. Okay, fine, all right. And here, this negative sign that is there, students, this negative sign is because of the Lenz law. So this is like Faraday's law and Lenz law combined together. Okay, fine. So actually, let us quickly read. This was done last time. Still, I'll just quickly go through it once, and then we'll move on to the next law. Okay, fine. So what is written over here? Faraday's law, which gives the relationship between electromotive force. Students, I hope you all remember that induced EMF and everything. Because of changing external magnetic, um, just one second. Because of changing external magnetic field, what happens is that there is a induced voltage inside the coil. Maybe if I have kept a coil, okay, there is a induced voltage because of which there is an induced current. Okay, so Faraday's law gives us the relationship between induced EMF in a circuit when the magnetic flux, okay, see students, whenever I talk about magnetic flux, basically I'm talking about magnetic field only. Why? Because magnetic field is nothing but phi m upon a. Okay, capital B stands for magnetic field, phi m stands for your magnetic flux, and A stands for area. So magnetic flux per unit area gives me the magnetic field. Okay, so changing magnetic flux means actually changing magnetic field only. Okay, I hope you all are understanding this. So induced in a circuit when the magnetic flux linked with the circuit changes. Okay, fine. So when the external magnetic field is changing, there is an induced EMF in that circuit or in the coil that is kept in the changing magnetic field. Because of that induced EMF or induced voltage, there is induced current produced. Okay, fine. All right. So if I just read what is written below the law, here phi m is the magnetic flux and the integral is over the closed loop. Time varying magnetic field induces an electromotive force and hence an electric field. The direction of the induced EMF is such that the change is opposed. You all can see this statement. The direction of the induced EMF is such that the change is opposed. This is kind of actually summarizing Lenz's law. Okay, fine. Students always study Lenz's law as well in detail, just like you always study Faraday's law and all the other laws. Okay, fine. So I would read something now and please pay attention. No need to note it down. Just pay attention to what I'm reading. Lenz's law states that the induced EMF, which induces a current, okay, induced voltage will result into induced current, right? So Lenz's law states that induced EMF and which results into induces current, whose magnetic field opposes the change in magnetic flux through the loop to ensure that the original flux is maintained through the loop when current flows in it. Okay, fine. So see students, what happens is that before you all understand this, I want you all to tell you all something that if, for example, if you all have, forget now all these concepts, just concentrate on what I'm explaining. If we have a current carrying wire, okay, fine. Like if there is a straight current carrying wire, okay, there is a wire through which current is flowing, then this flowing current, okay, current is flowing meaning what? Actually charges are moving, right? So this flowing current will result into a magnetic field around this wire. Okay, you all have to remember this. Flowing current will result into a magnetic field around the wire. I think so I've already explained this, but even just quick revision, okay? When current is moving, if I consider a wire through which current is moving, we actually apply right hand thumb rule over here. I'm not sure if you all have heard it, but then what is right hand thumb rule? Right hand thumb rule is like, if I just hold the wire, like for example, if I'm holding the wire like this and my thumb is indicating the direction of the current, then the curled fingers are showing me the direction of the magnetic field. So basically when current is moving, there is magnetic field generated around it. Okay, okay, 1 second, someone has Miss 10th में पढ़ाया है. Okay, you all know right hand thumb rule, then very good. Okay, you all already know it, then well and good. Okay, Rohan, fine. All right, fine. So now let's get back to Lenz's law. So I'll read it again, whatever the statement that is there. Lenz's law states that the induced EMF, okay, induces a current whose magnetic field, see students, whatever coil or circuit I have kept in the changing magnetic field, है ना, जो चेंजिंग मैग्नेटिक फ्लक्स है, ये देखो, ये जो मैग्नेटिक फ्लक्स है, चेंजिंग मैग्नेटिक फ्लक्स has resulted into induced EMF inside the coil, which will result into current. Now because current is moving, that moving current will generate उसका खुद का magnetic field because of what I explained you all just now. Okay, the flowing current will generate its own magnetic field. Okay, fine. So induces a current whose magnetic field opposes the change in magnetic flux. So this change in magnetic flux that is happening originally, okay, originally the change in magnetic flux and the magnetic field that is produced by the induced current. So the magnetic field produced by the induced current will try to oppose the external magnetic flux. Okay, fine. Whatever is, if like in simple line I have to summarize, the induced part is opposing the cause. Okay, what is the cause over here? Why did the current come into picture? The current came into picture because of the changing magnetic flux, right? I kept the coil in changing magnetic flux because of which EMF was induced, current was induced. That current is now producing a magnetic field which is opposing the cause. Cause मतलब उसका reason जिसके वजह से वो खुद बना. So it is trying to oppose the cause. That is the reason, the minus sign. Okay, this is nothing but Lenz's law. Okay, fine. Everyone, please let me know if you all understood this point.
Yes, miss.
Okay, fine. All right. So now let us move to the next law, that is Ampere's law. And as I said, Maxwell did some modification. So later on it became Ampere-Maxwell law. Okay, fine. So let us just quickly read what is written over here first. Okay, just one second. Let me just zoom it in a little bit. Okay. Ampere's law gives the relation between the induced magnetic field associated with the loop and the current that is flowing through the loop. Maxwell in 1839 to whatever noticed a major flaw in the Ampere's law for time dependent fields. He noticed that the magnetic field can be generated not only by the electric current but also by the changing electric field. Okay, fine. See, students, here you all have to apply this principle. The one that I just explained, the electric current, okay, the electric current causes magnetic field. Okay, fine. So here, if I read, just one second, if I read it again, like whatever is written, Ampere's law, it gives me the relationship between the induced magnetic field associated with the loop and the current flowing through the loop. Okay, fine. So like for example, if see, if I just consider the wire like this in this direction, okay, there is a wire through which current I is moving, okay, fine. Then here the magnetic field is like this. The magnetic field generated around it is like this in this loop. Okay, fine, all right. So what Ampere's law is going to give me? Ampere's law, this is induced magnetic field, right? This magnetic field induced because it is produced because of the flowing current. Okay, fine. Just like how in the previous one in Faraday's law, because of changing magnetic field, current was produced, right? Here, because of changing current, magnetic field is produced. It's like that. Okay, fine, in Ampere's law. So here, this whatever Ampere's law is, it is going to give me the relation between the induced magnetic field, this loop that I have drawn, that is the induced magnetic field associated with the loop and the current that is flowing through it. Okay, so the current that will be flowing through this much area, the current that is flowing, so this particular relationship is given by Ampere's law. Okay, fine. Now let us continue reading. Maxwell noticed a major flaw in the Ampere's law for time dependent fields. He noticed that the magnetic field can be generated not only by electric current but also by changing electric field. So you all can just mark this statement, and you all can also mark the first one as it is like summarizing what Ampere's law is. And the next statement you all can mark, he noticed, that is what is the flaw that that Maxwell noticed. Okay. All right, so I'll don't worry, students. I'll explain you all the statement. To in order to understand the statement, I'll have to like give you all one circuit example and then I'll explain. So don't worry. Just let us just quickly read what is written over here. So therefore, in the year 1861, he added one more term to the equation describing this law. This term is called displacement current. Okay, this also I'll explain what it is. This term is extremely important, and the EM waves which are an outcome of these equations would not have been possible in absence of this term. Okay, so as I said, what Maxwell did was he added one term in Ampere's law, and that term is nothing but displacement current, and that is his entire contribution in all the Maxwell's equation. Okay, fine, all right. So if you all have marked this, then I'll quickly explain you all what the meaning is. Okay, fine. So is there some space over here? Okay. Okay, fine. So here, students, I'll let you all know if you all have to note down anything. Okay, I think so. There might be a statement which you all have to write it down. Still, I'll let you all know. Okay, fine. So let me consider. Okay, students, firstly, tell me, are you all aware of what a capacitor is? Do you all know what a capacitor is? Yes, students. Please unmute and answer. It would be very helpful. Yes, okay. Only Ritesh knows what a capacitor is. What about others? You all are done with that chapter, right? Where all that resistance is and in series, capacitance, parallel and all that chapter. That chapter is done, right? Okay, okay. No. Yeah, that is true. Ritesh, you are giving me the application, which is absolutely correct. But I am asking in terms of devices, in terms of components. You all know what a resistor is, right? In a circuit, you all draw a resistor like this. Yes or no? And you all also have something called inductor, Then you'll also have something called capacitor. Okay, these are like two parallel lines. Okay, don't get confused between a capacitor and a battery. In a battery or a cell, okay, only two lines means it's a cell. So in a cell, what is happening, you all can see one line is big and another is small, indicating positive, negative. But in capacitor, both of them are identical. Yes, students, you all have not heard about capacitor or its operation and everything. Yes, Lendroy, correct. Capacitor stores electric energy in an electric field. Okay, good. See, students, capacitor is like a component, just like your resistor and inductor and other components that are used in circuits. Okay, fine. So, as Lendroy said, absolutely correct. Capacitor is something. Capacitor has the this thing property of storing energy inside it. Okay. See, students, what actually is a capacitor? There are two parallel plates. Okay, there are two parallel plates. Both of them are oppositely charged. You all can see, right? One plate is connected to one particular terminal of the battery, another is connected to another terminal. Okay, fine. And in between these two plates, okay, there is nothing. Okay, the like in there is empty space, or I can say there is a dielectric constant present over there. Okay, fine. All right. Um, okay, fine. What I'll do is I'll directly explain you all the operation. Maybe then you all will understand what it is. Now see, students, current is flowing in this particular circuit. Okay, fine, because I have attached an external battery, so obviously current will be flowing. So that particular current that is flowing, okay, that flowing current is known as conduction current. Okay, the current that is flowing in my circuit, as again I'm repeating, this is just an example to support the statement that I asked you all to mark, okay, about displacement current. All right, fine. So the current that is flowing, because of the normal circuit is there, battery is there, all components are there, current is flowing, that current is called conduction current. Okay, fine. So what you all can do is, if you all just concentrate on this equation as if for now, don't worry, I'll explain you all what the terms are, but just concentrate on the equation. You all can see this capital I term. So let us consider this capital I is my conduction. It is my conduction current only. Normally it is represented by IC and all. Okay, I and a subscript C and all, but that's okay. Here they have simply written I. So this I is nothing but my conduction current. What you all can do is, students, in your textbook where this equation is there, okay, there somewhere over here at the side you all can write I is equal to conduction current. Okay, just write down this. What is that? What is this? I is current, everyone knows that, but exactly what current we are talking about? Conduction current. I have not yet explained displacement current. I'll explain that. First note this down quickly. Okay, fine. All right, I hope you all have noted this down. Okay, fine. Now see, students, as I said, okay, uh, capacitor are like two parallel plates. Okay, fine. So here what happens is that, for example, on one plate all the positive charges are accumulated, and on the other plate all the negative charges are accumulated. In between these two plates there is no current flow happening. Okay, fine. Capacitor is used to stay, it is used to store energy. When you put a capacitor in between circuit, there is no current flow happening between the dielectric present between the two plates. Okay, fine, that is what the actual principle is, but we do see some amount of current present in this space. Okay, I hope you all are understanding. According to the original this thing, original principle, there should be no current flow between the two parallel plates of the capacitor. Okay, but when I put that capacitor in a particular circuit, I see that there is some amount of current generated in this space. Okay, and that current is nothing but displacement current. Okay, fine. All right. Now, why is this displacement current generated? Displacement current is generated because of the changing electric field. Students, that statement that I asked you all to mark. Your, see, because of the flowing current, magnetic field is produced. We already know that. Okay, changing electric current produces magnetic field. But what Maxwell told that along with changing current, electric current, changing electric field also produces a current, that is nothing but displacement current. So now let me explain to you all here how that electric field is changing. Okay, now see students, initially in the circuit I have not connected battery. Okay, like I just simply have a circuit, or maybe my switch is open, my key is open. Okay, and then there's a capacitor and everything, and as soon as I close the switch, obviously the current will start flowing, meaning the charges will start flowing. So what happens is that charges will start getting accumulated on my capacitor. See, initially there are no charges on the capacitor plate. Okay, fine, but after some time maybe few charges are present. Okay, then after a little bit, after more time, more charges are present on the plate. Okay, I hope you all are understanding. Initially there are no charges, but as soon as the conduction current is moving, little by little charges are accumulating on my capacitor plates. So you all can see here the electric field, the plus minus, one plate has plus charges, one plate has minus charges, right? You all can see the electric field over here is changing. We are going from 0 to maybe the maximum saturation value. Everything has a saturation limit. After that, like even the capacitor plates can hold up to charges only to a certain limit, not after that. Okay, fine. So we are going from 0 till the saturation limit. So what is happening over here? The electric field is changing. Okay, the electric field of these capacitor plates are changing, and because of these capacitor plates changing electric field, there is a current induced in between these two capacitor plates known as displacement current. Okay, so there is normally there is no current flow between the space between the two parallel capacitor plates. Okay, the two plates, everything comprised to be a capacitor. All right, fine. So there is no current flow, but what is happening? Charges are getting accumulated on the plates, right? Which means electric field is changing, and this changing electric field will result into a current known as displacement current. Okay, fine. So students here, the other, what you all can do is somewhere over here only, write down one statement. Displacement current is present in the region displacement current is present in the region displacement current is present in the region where electric field and electric flux. Displacement current is present in the region where electric field and electric flux are changing with time. Displacement current is present in the region where electric field and electric flux are changing with time. Okay, everyone, have you all noted down the statement? Please let me know. I'll repeat the statement if you all want. Displacement current is present in the region where electric field and electric flux are changing with time. Okay, what about others? Please let me know if you all have noted down the statement.
Yes, miss. Yes, miss.
Okay. Okay, fine. All right. Okay, students. Okay. Okay, fine, Rohan. No problem. All right. So where was I? Yeah. So students, now see, as I said, now in this particular equation, just 1 second. Okay, my mouse is not. Let me take some other color. Okay. In this particular equation, which one is the actual Ampere's law? Ampere's law is only this much, students. And this particular term is the one that is contributed by Maxwell, which is nothing but displacement current. Okay, fine. All right. Now see, students, what is my electric flux? Now these, whatever I'm writing down, you all can note it down, like just for extra information. I have already mentioned phi m is what? Magnetic flux. phi E is what? Electric flux. Okay, fine. So my phi E actually is nothing but Q upon epsilon naught. Okay, where Q is the charge. And I hope you all remember what epsilon is. Epsilon is nothing but permittivity. Okay, you all remember, right? Permittivity, permeability. I made you all write the definitions and everything. Permittivity is the factor that is related to electric field, and we are discussing about electric field, so obviously we'll take permittivity in vacuum. Okay, fine. All right. So what is actually electric flux? Electric flux is given by the formula Q upon epsilon naught. Now, if I have to like derivate this with respect to time, okay, fine. If I have to derivate this with respect to time, what will happen, students? This will become, please try to understand what I'm writing, and you all also note it down simultaneously. This will become d phi E upon dt equal to, now obviously epsilon naught is a constant, okay, students? So that won't be derivated. So 1 upon epsilon naught into dq upon dt. Okay, fine. All right, fine. I hope you all are understanding this. Okay, and what is dq upon dt, students? What is q upon t? Can anyone tell me what q upon t is? Formula for what? Q matlab charge. Okay. Q upon T is, okay, wait, before that, everyone please let me know if you all have noted these two equations down. See, I have written the formula for electric flux, that is Q upon epsilon naught, and then in the next step I have derivated it with respect to time. So it will become d phi E upon dt. Again, students, this is extra information for your understanding. Okay, in exam you all have to simply write the equation directly, but how did that term come into picture? I want you all to explain that, because as I already said, see here, according to Ampere Maxwell law, okay, fine, this line integral of the magnetic field is combination of the conduction current and displacement current. You'll remember those terms, right? Yes or no? So this conduction term current is already there, and this part is contributed by Maxwell, which is nothing but the displacement current. So I want to explain to you all how this formula came into picture over here. Okay, that is the reason I'm giving all these equations and everything. So this is the first step, this is the second step. Everyone please let me know if you all have noted these two equations down.
Yes, miss.
Yes, miss.
Okay, fine. Okay, now can anyone tell me Q upon T is formula for what? Okay, all are sending in chat. Yes, two people, Nandini and Tishya, have answered absolutely correct. What about others? What is Q upon T formula for? Come on, students, this is very basic. Okay, you all should know this by now. Being science students, by now you all should know this. Okay, Gandharva has also sent the correct answer. Good. Just 1 second. Yes, what about others? Only 3 people know what Q upon T is. You all are done with that chapter, right? Current something chapter. Then how come you all don't know what Q upon T is for? Stands for what? No, Melissa, your answer is incorrect. Okay, Lenroy has sent the correct answer. Okay, no, Dhani's answer, no, Dhani answer is not correct. Vaishnavi's answer is correct. Okay, many of you all are sending the correct answer. Students, Q upon T is formula for current. What is current? Current is like if there is a wire, and if I have to identify the current in one particular section of that wire, what I'll see is how much how many charges are flowing in given time through that particular section. Current is nothing but moving of charges, right? So charges that are moving at a particular or with respect to certain amount of time, that is going to give me the current. Yes or no? Q upon T is formula for current, students. Please remember this. So why I discussed this, you all can see this dq upon dt over here. Meaning तो same ही है ना, खाली derivative किया है मैंने. Q upon T is for current. So dq upon dt will also be current. It will be small current. Okay, I hope you all are understanding. So this dq upon dt is nothing but actually the displacement current factor. Okay, so in the next equation, what you all can do is, Let me just write it down on the whiteboard because there's no space over there. Okay, fine. So I got this, yes or no? I got d phi upon dE upon dt is equal to 1 upon epsilon naught, and then I have dq upon dt, right? Yes or no? If you are not understanding anything, then please ask. So this dq upon dt is nothing but id, students, the displacement current. So in the next step, what you all can do is, for the next step, put a therefore, write everything down, and instead of dq upon dt, write down id. And then keep id on one side, write equal to, and tell me what is the equation that you all are getting. I hope you all understood. You all wrote down till here, right? In the next step now, instead of dq upon dt, write id. id is nothing but displacement current. बाजू में लिखो अगर समझ में नहीं आता तो. id is equal to displacement current. जैसे I is equal to conduction current लिखा था. ठीक है? Okay. And then keep id on one side and tell me what is the final equation that you all are getting. Please unmute and tell. Don't send it on chat. Yes, anyone? कुछ ज्यादा नहीं करना है, बस इधर उधर शिफ्टिंग करना है खाली. और आईडी का मुझे ये बताओ क्या आ रहा है इक्वेशन. Yes, students, what happened? Are you all not understanding my question, or you all don't want to answer? If you all are not understanding the question, then also let me know. I'll repeat it once again if you all want. Okay. ओके फाइन, आई रिपीट इट. तो बोलो ना वैसे, अगर रिपीट करना चाहिए तो. कोई बोलेगा नहीं कुछ तो मुझे समझेगा कैसे क्या हो रहा है. ओके फाइन. Okay, so students, see, we have obtained till here. Okay, we did the derivative. Now I is nothing but q upon t. Okay, this is something that is expected, that you all know already. So what is dq upon dt? Instead of dq upon dt मतलब small हो गया, small current हो गया. Displacement current is anyways a small current only. Okay, fine. So here, instead of dq upon dt, in the next step, again write down d phi e upon dt is equal to 1 upon epsilon naught, and instead of this entire term, write down I into d, that is id. Okay, I into d not separately, so sorry, id. ओके इतना हो गया. अब वो आईडी को वहां पर ही रखना है, और आईडी के बाजू में जो एप्सिलॉन नॉट है डिवाइडेड में, उसको क्रॉस करना है खाली. तो उसको क्रॉस करोगे तो तुम लोग को आईडी क्या मिलेगा? एप्सिलॉन नॉट इनटू डी फाई ई अपॉन डी टी. yes or no? This is what I was asking you all. Everyone please let me know if you all understood this. ये आईडी कैसे आया? एप्सिलॉन नॉट इनटू डी फाई ई अपॉन डी टी. Okay, a student,
Yes, miss.
yeah, the session is about to end in a minute. Okay, so see to it that you all rejoin the session. Okay, okay, till then everyone let me know you all understood id कैसे आया.
Yes, miss.
Yes, miss. Okay, please write it down somewhere. Okay, what about others? You all understood? People who are not answering.
Yes, miss.
Okay, fine. Okay, so see to it that you all write it down and please rejoin the session as soon as it ends.